Live from Innovation Park on the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, February 10th. Tonight we'll bring you more into State College's first ever Pride Parade, as well as why a building on campus closed its drinking fountains.
We also have more on President Trump's impeachment acquittal and subsequent State of the Union address, as well as your sports, entertainment, and weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alyshia Hercules.
And I'm Luke Lacher.
The State College Borough Council approved plans for a Pride Parade in downtown State College at their meeting last week. The parade is planned to be held on June 13th at the Sidney Freedman Parklet and Welch Plaza downtown. Tamar London, the co-chair of the Center LGBTQA Support Network, submitted the request during last Monday's meeting and was approved by the council. Penn State has held Pride Parade type events before, but this will be the first ever for State College.
Elevated levels of lead have been found in the drinking water in the Tyson building on Penn State's University Park campus, according to recent tests. Officials say the water was last tested for lead in 2017, and those results came back negative. Another test was performed in January of this year after complaints of discolored water coming out of the faucets in the building. The university said the issue was localized only to the Tyson building. Last week, the College of Agricultural Science, the building's largest occupant, turned off all of the water fountains and provided people with bottled water instead. Officials say people who drank the contaminated water should hopefully not see any negative health impacts.
Plans for a multi-use building in place of the former Autoport Motel property at 1401 South Atherton Street were submitted to the State College Borough Planning Department on January 17th. This plan includes a 122-room suite hotel and 8 apartment units. According to Borough Senior Planner Greg Garth, the Autoport Restaurant and Lounge won't be torn down as a part of the redevelopment. The Autoport Motel was Pennsylvania's oldest motel before closing down in 2015.
A therapy dog named Luke the Lab that worked for Penn State's Counseling and Psychological Services Department died after a battle with cancer. Luke was CAP's only therapy dog and was beloved by patients and handlers alike. Luke loved helping students in need and will be dearly missed by the CAPS staff. His owner, Maggie Doby, a therapist at CAPS, said that Luke loved his job very much and that he loved all students.
Stay tuned, because after the break, Kevin Walker will bring you the latest in entertainment.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kevin Walker with your entertainment update. Coming to Penn State this Valentine's Day is singer and artist Max. Penn State Spa announced that they are hosting a free concert this Friday, February 14th in the Hub Robeson Center's Alumni Hall at 8 p.m. featuring Max. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with Max, who also goes by Max Schneider, was a previous Nickelodeon star from the show How to Rock, which aired for a season in 2012. He also starred as Charlie in the hit Nickelodeon film Rags that same year. Since his Nickelodeon fame, he has gone on to release 2 studio albums and has gone on to work with the likes of Lil Uzi Vert, Nash, and Hoodie Allen. His hit singles include Lights Down Low, Love Me Less, Team, and Still New York. Lights Down Low reached number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2018, hitting certified platinum with over 1 million copies sold. The concert will be free to all students with a valid Penn State University Park student photo ID and is funded by the student initiated fee. If you are a fan of free live theater, then you are in luck. No Refund Theater is presenting The Giver, which starts this Thursday, February 13th, and will show through Saturday, February 15th at 8 p.m. in the Hub Flex Theater. Based on the 1993 classic American novel of the same name, written by Lois Lowry and adapted for stage by Eric Cobble, the story of The Giver revolves around a young boy named Jonas, who learns the truth about life and the hypocrisy of his utopian world. The show is directed by Penn State student Sarah Weston, who has tirelessly been working on this production since December with an unbelievable, transcending cast that is made up of students of all different majors, as well as some Penn State alumni. The show is free and is open to anyone who is interested. Last night marked the 92nd Annual Academy Awards and included many groundbreaking moments for the nominees, reassuring why the Oscars still remain Hollywood's biggest night. The Korean film Parasite led the way, making history throughout the evening. The Bong Joon-ho directed film won in 4 of its 6 nominated categories, including Best Original Screenplay, Best International Film, Best Director, and the night's biggest award, Best Picture. The film made history as it was the first South Korean film to ever be nominated for Best International Feature Film, as well as the first Korean film to ever be nominated and win for Best Director and Best Picture. In the award's 92-year-old history, Parasite was also the first film not in the English language to win Best Picture. This was the second straight year where the Oscars have decided to go without a host, but that did not stop immense talent from getting their chances to present on the big stage. Notable winners included Joaquin Phoenix, who won his first Oscar for Best Actor in the role of the Joker, and Brad Pitt, who scored his first Oscar win for Best Supporting Actor in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Renee Zellweger won her second Oscar and her first Best Actress Oscar for her portrayal of Judy Garland in Judy, accompanied by Laura Dern, who also won her first Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Marriage Story. That was your entertainment update. After the break, Angelica Singer will bring you the latest from the world of sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Angelica Singer with your sports update. Senior Lamar Stevens led the number 22 Penn State men's basketball team to their 6th straight win Saturday, topping Minnesota 83-77. Stevens had his career high of 33 points in front of a sold-out crowd at the Bryce Jordan Center. Although the Nittany Lions never fell behind, Minnesota wiped out Penn State's double-digit lead in the second half with a score as close as 71-68 with 5 minutes to go. Stevens and sophomore Miles Dredd got the Nittany Lions back up by nine with a little over 3 minutes to play. In the final minute, Minnesota again threatened Penn State's 10-point lead, but the Nittany Lions made enough free throws to seal the win. Penn State will travel to Purdue Tuesday for its next Big Ten matchup, now ranked number 13 in the nation. Another school record has been broken for Penn State's track and field team. Junior Victoria Tuchinski set a new 600-meter record Saturday with a time of 1 minute and 29.04 seconds at the Sykes and Sabick Challenge. Tuchinski broke the 2017 record previously set by her teammate Danae Rivers by just 0.02 milliseconds. The new record time placed Tuchinski second in the women's 600-meter race. Last week, junior Alexa Parks also broke the women's high jump record with a jump of 6 feet at Penn State's National Open. Former Penn State quarterback Matt McGloin returned to football Sunday to play for the New York Guardians in the return of the XFL. McGloin helped set the tone for the team as he made the first touchdown of the XFL season, scoring on a 1-yard touchdown plunge against the Tampa Bay Vipers. McGloin also finished 15 of 29 for 182 yards with 1 touchdown pass and no interceptions. The Guardians defeated the Vipers 23-3 at MetLife Stadium. McGloin and the Guardians will travel to Washington next to face the DC Defenders Saturday in a matchup of Week 1 winners. That was your sports update. After the break, Talia Cirillo will bring you an exclusive interview with Jade Meno from the Penn State Student Farm.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Talia Cirillo. Tonight we have Jade Meno from the Penn State Student Farm. Jade, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So when was the Penn State Student Farm created?
It was officially created in 2016, so we just finished our 4th growing season. And we also just finished our 3-year pilot, which means we're in the process of expanding our farm. So it originally is 1 acres, and we're expanding to about 3.5.
And how long is that supposed to take?
We're not 100% sure. We're still working on funding for the whole project, but we're estimating in the next 10 years at the most. It'll be.
And the farm's considered part of the university, so where does funding come from?
So far, funding has come from the Housing and Food Services because we grow food for the dining halls. Also, the Student Fee Board in the past has given us some grant money, and the Provost has given us some grant money as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with the funding. And now, what events do you have for the community and for Penn State students?
The events run from small things like volunteer groups or just students coming out to do research on the farm to larger events like the Harvest Fest that we have every year to finish out our growing season. And also every summer we have a summer solstice event that has over 200, 300 people from the community come.
And does it consist of live music?
Yeah, live music and food trucks using food from the student farm. Yeah, and just like games for children and face painting and just fun summer activities.
And now the farm provides food for the university. So walk me through that process.
So we write a weekly pick list for all the dining halls, and then the chefs get back to us with what produce that they will use for that week. And then every Monday, and I believe it's Thursday, we harvest the food and prep the bins and then bring it to the dining halls.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now what made you want to be a part of the student farm to begin with?
Well, for me, my major needed a 3-credit immersive experience. So I reached out to the student farm to get an internship to get 3 credits worth of experience in agriculture. So that's how I got involved in the farm. But then the student farm club was just a great environment. So I stuck around because the people were really fun.
That's awesome. So how many seasons have you been through?
For me, just one. I started last spring with the internship class, and we seeded and prepped all the beds on the farm, and then we finished up the growing season by cover cropping in the fall.
And what type of food do you guys grow on the farm for the dining halls and, over the summer as well?
Yeah, we grow vegetables and some fruits and herbs. So if you're in the dining hall, there is normally a sign that says like grown by the student farm. So look around for those.
That's awesome. And now what has the farm done in terms of sustainability for the university?
It's mostly sustainability in education. The student farm does a lot of education for students in all different fields. They can come to the farm with their class and learn about what we do and how to grow organically and organic practices and sustainable food systems. So it's a lot of just education for students to learn about where their food comes from and start practicing farm to table things like that.
Awesome. What has been the most rewarding part for you being a part of this?
So I worked with the CSA, which stands for Campus Supported Agriculture. So over the summer, I would prep bins for members of the CSA. And I think the most rewarding thing would be seeing people pick up their box of veggies every week and see how excited they got about what they received that week.
So a lot of people don't know what goes into farming and harvesting. So take me through a typical day, a typical season.
During the summer, us interns would get to the farm at 8, and we would weed, we would harvest, water specific plants that need extra watering. We would trim leaves off of plants that were growing too big, and we try to work in the morning so it's not as hot, because then the plants want to be left alone when it's too hot out. So it's just a lot of like maintaining the beauty of the farm and making sure everything is clean and safe and healthy for people to eat.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jade, for joining us. Up next, we'll have your latest weather. Stay tuned.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good Monday evening. I'm student meteorologist Christopher Tate here with your PSN forecast. Our weather headlines this week, as you can see next to me, showing us that we have a very active weather week ahead, starting off with plenty of precipitation on tap for much of Pennsylvania as we head through the rest of this week. A repeated barrage of storm systems going to be bringing us lots of rain and maybe even a little bit of snow as well. I'll have your full 7-day forecast in just a bit. And we are looking at the possibility of very chilly temperatures on Friday. Between systems, we may have our first encounter with single-digit overnight lows. We'll show you that in just a bit. And also climbing temperatures next week. So we will be returning back to normal and maybe even above normal as we head into next week. I'll show you that in just a bit. We're starting off with future weather, of course, starting off 7:30 Tuesday morning. As you head out to your morning classes, it is going to be you are going to be looking at the possibility of some light rain, nothing too impactful as we head through Tuesday. Then as we start Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds to start the day for you. Mostly cloudy skies here in Pennsylvania. Some areas along I-80 to the east of us may see a little bit more clearing. Areas down towards New York may see more sun than clouds as they start their Wednesdays. But that is going to change for everybody as the clouds will become more widespread and a low pressure system riding up out of the Ohio Valley set to bring us a rain and snow mix here in central Pennsylvania. Now this rain-snow line could waffle just a little bit north-south, and that's going to dictate exactly how much accumulation and of what type of precipitation we see. I'm expecting it to start off as a pretty even rain-snow mix here in central Pennsylvania. That rain-snow line gradually pushing off to the north as we head into the wee hours of Thursday morning, eventually leaving us with just rain. As we head through the rest of the day on Thursday, could see some wraparound moisture and some winds coming off of Lake Erie, just enough to maybe give us a lake effect flake here or there. No real accumulation I'd expect on top of that. Friday morning is actually going to start off almost 50-50 for Pennsylvania. More clouds to the west, more sun to the east. You know how it is. It's Pennsylvania this time of year. As we head into the rest of the day on Friday, those clouds are going to dissipate. Saturday is set to start off mostly clear for many areas. That is going to change. Clouds build in Saturday, and then on Sunday we have our next rainmaker set to move through the area. Now it is going to be a fairly quick system, and that rain is going to pass through the area fairly quickly, and I expect only rain, no snow associated with this particular system. As we head into the day on Tuesday, another storm system set to come up out of the Ohio Valley due to bring us more clouds and more precipitation, just as it typically is this time of year. For tonight, 37 is your low. Scattered showers very late in the evening. Winds light and variable, or light out of the west, I should say. And as we head into the day tomorrow, warming only to 39 degrees. Start the day off mostly cloudy, but by the afternoon, we start to see some of that afternoon and evening wintry mix I was talking about. So do take it easy out on the roads if you're going to be out anytime on Wednesday. And your 7-day forecast from the Campus Weather Service has us warming for Thursday up to 42 degrees, but that's not going to last long. Check this out, a low of 10 on Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the outlying areas manage to make it to 9 or even 8 degrees. Friday night into Saturday, only a high of 20 and an overnight low of 7. That will be the first time this season that State College has seen overnight lows in the single digits. Sunday set to be a fairly pleasant day, at least with the sun. It is going to be fairly cool, only a high around 30, cooling off just a little bit down to 26. Sunday into Monday, we see another chance of rain on Sunday before Monday brings us mostly cloudy skies and temperatures warming back into the low and mid-40s. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm student meteorologist Christopher Tate. Have a pleasant evening.
Senators voted to acquit President Trump on 2 articles of impeachment, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress last week. 48 senators supported a guilty verdict on Article 1, while 52 voted not guilty. 47 senators supported a guilty verdict for Article 2, while 52 voted not guilty. Despite Trump being found not guilty, notable Republican senator and former presidential candidate Mitt Romney crossed party lines to vote to remove President Trump from office based on Article 1 of impeachment. This makes Senator Romney the first senator in history to vote to convict in the impeachment trial of a president of his own party.
Pete Buttigieg secured a narrow victory in a messy Iowa caucus last week. The caucuses in the Hawkeye state usually provide insight at the beginning of every presidential primary and general election. This year, however, the focus became on some major problems with the system. The winner wasn't declared for several days after the software used to count the results failed catastrophically. Buttigieg won 14 of Iowa's 41 delegates. Bernie Sanders finished very close behind with 12 delegates, and Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden finished further behind with 8 and 6 delegates, respectively. The next Democratic primary is tomorrow in New Hampshire.
The first American has died of the Wuhan coronavirus strain, according to the U.S. Embassy in China. The embassy confirms the passing of a, quote, 60-year-old U.S. citizen diagnosed with coronavirus at Yinjitan Hospital on February 6th, end quote, and provided no further details out of respect for the family. The global death toll from the strain of the virus has reached upwards of 900 to 1,000, according to different sources.
Last week, President Donald Trump delivered the annual State of the Union address in the United States House of Representatives. The event was marred by stark division along party lines. Republican members of Congress stood and applauded while Democrats sat in silence. Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi went so far as to tear up a transcript of the address at its conclusion. President Trump touted his record-breaking economy while making no mention at all of his recent impeachment or acquittal.
And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Have a good night, Penn State.